Hello and welcome to the layout tour. This is a kind of video just to kind of give you an update on what I've done so far and what I plan to do in the future. It's really aimed at those subscribers and followers that haven't been with me since the beginning and may have missed the earlier videos. So it's just to kind of give you a kind of feel for where I'm going with the layout on both ends and at both sides, and what I plan to do and build up over the coming months and years. Hope you enjoy. Any questions, please get in touch. Okay, I'll start with what I call phase one of the layout, and that is the station side. It's home to Dean Park Station, which obviously gives the layout its name. What I try to do here is to kind of give a condensed version of Edinburgh Waverley, one of my all-time favourite mainline stations. I've used Scale Scenes brickwork for the retaining walls and the tunnel mouths, and they're mounted on 2mm grey board card with spray adhesive, and then they're strengthened with plywood, as you can see on this one, just to give it, firmness and rigidity. What I've got here is a mock down version of the actual Edinburgh Waverley signal box. It is actual size in scale terms from the real one. I managed to get the dimensions from somebody in the know, shall we say, and I have made it from card, Scale Scenes paper. The roof is MDF, routed to an angle as per the prototype, and then the roof is concrete from Scale Scenes paper, enlarged to A3, so there's no joins on the top of the roof. The windows are from York Model Making, and they were bespoke. I gave them the plans of what I had, and they came up with a cracking product. It really is wonderful what they can do. I just painted them with the airbrush, a kind of cream colour as per the prototype before I was allowed to go almost black with grime in real life. So I'm really proud of my first attempt there at scratch building. It's fully lit and detailed. You can see it right now because I've got the lights on, but there's a control panel there, and on the back walls there are maps, identical maps of the actual station, and I've got the controller in there standing at the window. So that's the west end. Just to let you know that I use Code 100 Picotrack and Electrofrog points with live frogs, with Pico point motors and accessory switches. The relay boxes are Wills, and all the cable trunking are from Ten Commandments, and the dummy point motors are also from Wills. I've got speed signs here as well, traditional BR speed signs, which were used and still can be seen to this day, although they've been replaced by the modern, almost like the street sign, road sign, round ones with the red outline. But you can still see these, and they were painted yellow with a black post, and I've got them littered around the layout. The station itself, Scale Scenes platforms, built on a kind of ply base with pine strengtheners to give it a robust, rigid and durable, hopefully durable anyway, construction. The overhead masts, before I forget, are from Dapple. I am not putting the wires between the masts. Two reasons. One, the distance between my masts don't exactly match up with the supplied wires that you now get from Dapple that hook onto the actual arms of the overhead masts. And secondly, I've calculated that it will cost me over £800 just to wire the top two lines and the single line on the lower section. And I'm sure you could find 101 better uses for £800 than thin wire, which would just really hinder the track maintenance side of things. So I'm not going down that route. I think it gives a representation of the overhead masts without the wires. It does do a decent job at doing that, so I'm not going to waste £800. I'd rather spend that on £800 on rolling stock or other bits and pieces for the layout. These are Scale Scenes flats. I have adapted them. I've put extra floors on them, and I've also put them at a kind of angle. Again, this is all kind of kit bashing to give them a less flat, two-dimensional look to them. So they've got a nice little angle, and it almost kind of matches the wall, the angled wall, with the upper section rail there. And I've got a little old granny chasing her grandson with an umbrella, a couple of bikes, and a man relieving himself in my little garden area down there, and a single kind of security street lamp there. Down there, I did a video last summer on making a scene, and it's just paving from Scale Scenes, raised up slightly from the lower level, just so you see more of the flats from rail level, like that. Okay, and there's the CR signals there, 4 aspect. All the scenic material I've used here is Woodland Scenics, and there is also a variety of manufactured static grass, and just to kind of create this urban sprawl of bushes that, you know, impinge on the railway wherever you go, really. And I've done quite a reasonable job there. And there's the pallets as well that I've just painted and weathered up, and they are Scenecraft Bachmann. The back scenes, I always get asked about these. They're ID back scenes, and they are printed on a polyvinyl, I think it is, self-adhesive, and I think it's polypropylene, and they are heavily altered from the In the Town series. They're 15 inches high, and I've got the customization, if you like, to bring the horizon up, so when you're looking at rail level, the houses appear to be kind of at that level. There's not 6 inches of grass before the houses start, or what would have been the case with this one, you'd only see the rooftops from the rail level, which would be a real waste. So I've kind of got that put in, and I have to say it looks pretty good. It's pretty realistic, backs of houses onto the railway line. So that's the west end of the station. I'll move into the central and the east end, and I'll continue the tour. Okay, what we've got here then is the main roof, and they're all scale scenes roof sections, and there's 6 of them, 6 sections, and they are joined in 2 sections of 3. There's a join just here, so I can take half the roof away to get in access to the station, and I've sat them on the platforms. Apart from you know, the length of it, I've not really altered the kit at all. That's how it comes. All this was calculated, the span and the width and the height and the length was all calculated before I even put a rail down. I really needed to make sure I could fit it all in, and then also still fit in 2 running lines at the back with some scenic and room for a back scene. So it's worth planning the sizes when you go to make these things, because this thing is not easily altered in width. Yes, length, but width, no. So I had to get it all you know, planned. Even the widths of the platform had to be taken into consideration. This one's a slightly narrower one than that one, and these two are the same, but this one tapers obviously for the curve of the rail. So it's all kind of planned, sized down to the last millimetre, just to make sure everything fits. Obviously I had to plan the station as well, which is also a Scale Scenes kit, which is heavily kit bashed. If you see this on the website, the actual tower there protrudes quite a bit out to the front of the building. I've almost made it flush with the front of the red brickwork main building, and again I did a video on that a while back. And all the paving is Scale Scenes. The self-adhesive bright yellow lines and street markings are all modelrailwayscenery.com. They're self-adhesive vinyl, and they are superb. I'll be using them again. All the little bits of detail, men, women, cash machines, ticket machines, they're all Bachmann, and these little telephone boxes here are from Unit Models, painted in green with a grey base with silver touches on the hinges. First, obviously, telephone and communications cables. The signs were all bespoke made for me, and these are self-adhesive, and I made the stands myself, and there's another one along there for the Red Star parcels, just over the top of the yellow van roof there. And the ticket office at the left hand, the parcel office at the left hand there was the Royal Mail red van and the ramp, and I've got some blue brute trolleys there. If I zoom in a wee bit, just at the back of the red van, and they are brass kits from 10 Commandments. And the green wire fence that you can see there, that's brass etched, and I've got a kind of power relay box being fenced off there next to the end of the Class 101. This section at the left here, which is still in ply, that will be my gardens, my Waverley Gardens. A slight incline on it, plenty of trees, maybe a path, and that'll rise up to where the tunnel mouths are at the left hand side, where you can see 2 big gaps there, and then there'll be steps up into a slightly raised section at the town. See how that block of pine is? It'll be raised slightly, probably about the height of that block of wood actually. So there's a raised section of the town at the corner, but I'll cover that in my last phase to try and explain that. Okay, but this bit at the left will be Waverley Garden-esque, with some bought trees, some made from sea foam, etc. And so obviously plenty of bushes and shrubbery and static grass and park benches and stuff. I've got quite a few photos of Waverley Gardens that I'm going to study before I go to work on that. The east end of the station is kind of similar to the west end. The signals, the overhead masts, the communications box there with 2 chaps having a little chat. Again, all the foliage and greenage is all Woodland Scenics, and if I come round here, there's a little kind of disused plate layers hut with an empty cable reel sitting there and signage there obviously to warn people. These AWS ramps are also from Pico. The girder bridge here, I think that's a Wills kit as well. Obviously they'll be the same on the other side. I'll start to build it up, and I just weathered it with weathering powders. Did a video on that a long time ago, and the bridge is built up from blocks of pine, ply, and then your card with your scale scenes brick paper on it. And it kind of stops here, the scenic kind of stops. This will be a level crossing, which I'm going to get to work on soon. It will not be powered. There is a limited space and access for all the servo motors and such like, and to be honest with you, it's just adding extra wiring and something else that needs, you know, tight access to get in. So I might put flashing red lights on the barriers at this side, but I will not have them working. And I don't know what quite I'm going to do with this yet. I think I'm just doing a plastic card to kind of cover that, a slight ramp down to the road, and the road kind of disappears there, and there'll be a kind of fence or a wall here with, I'm not sure here yet, I might think about maybe some houses or houses that are being built, a new, you know, residential complex, and it will kind of go around the curve there and stop here, because I've got the lower line starting the incline, and I'll be working on the scenic of that in the next 12 months. In here I've got a wee fox having a wee wander in amongst the bushes, static grass, and I've even got some wee bald patches there where the grass wouldn't grow very well because it's in the shade. So I've just put these wee touches in. These are from Model Tree Shop trees, and they are very, very fine and delicate, and they are a wee treat. I thought I'd put two nice trees in there, as it kind of matches the trees in the back scene, as you can see there, and there, kind of fits in. That skip will not stay there. I don't know what I've done, why I put that there. These are 10 Commandments kits for the advert, or advertisement boards, and I have put my own stamp on the thing by putting my own advert there, British Airways one. Found it on the internet, printed it on glossy paper, matte varnished it, spray mounted it onto there. Didn't want it too glossy, so I just put a, you know, matte spray varnish onto it. And the platform there with the Class 56 is sitting is a kind of storage platform siding. It can fit a loco or a car and a half of a 2-car DMU, so it can be used for passenger traffic if required. The lighting is DCC Concepts lighting. It is not cheap, but it's probably one of the best ones around. I needed a fair few of these double and single bulb ones, but they are good. And under the roof is lit with normal LEDs, and all the wiring is hidden in that grey, as you can see the grey thing attached to the pillar, all the wiring is hidden in that right up to the top, and it goes obviously through the baseboard. And all these little station platform numbers and the monitor holders, etc., that you've seen in the past under the roof and other bits of the platform, they were made by me, plastic card and sprayed with a red. The station signs there are adapted kits from, I think it's Model Scene, as are the mail sacks. There's another one round there. Welcome to Dean Park. Okay, I've had quite a few people ask me if I've got any interiors in my buildings, and this station building I do. If you look in here, it's a first class waiting area, and there's bookcases, sofas, television, stereos, paintings on the wall, rugs on the floor, and there's a passenger there waiting for a train. Other side, a chap there reading the newspaper, plenty of bookcases. It's a quiet area, no television here, and paintings on the wall and such like. Downstairs, this is the ticket office. It's not got any furniture in it just now, it will have. And there's the main hallway. Okay, there's some adverts and posters there that you don't actually see, they're behind the doors, but you know, I like to put the detail there whether you see it or not. And this is a kind of cafe area which will have eventually tables and chairs and stuff in it with some passengers have a wee refreshment before they go in the buffet bar. Okay, and then we've got the Red Star offices here. Again, they are fully lit and some furniture just to be added there.